What's going on, family? Welcome back to the Cinema Goodness Podcast. I'm Kaheem. It's JP. What's going on, JP?
Man, nothing. I'm good. Excited about this second volume of season 5 of Stranger Things. And we're looking to end the year with a bang.
Yeah, man. It's been a lot going on, a lot swirling around, a lot of theories, man. I'm definitely excited. So sit back, relax, grab some popcorn. Let's get into this cinema goodness. What's going on, family? This is Kaheem.
And I'm JP.
And this is the Cinema Goodness Podcast, where we talk movies, all things related to Hollywood,
including your favorite genres and upcoming projects. Join us here for an unbiased and unfiltered discussion from our unique perspective.
So sit back, relax, grab some popcorn. Let's get into the cinema goodness.
All right.
I always love it, man. It's going crazy. Technical difficulties, people.
And while Kaheem is getting that pulled up, I'm going to give us a quick recap because, we come into volume 2 right after we have seen for the first time Will fully embody his powers on his ability to access the hive mind and save his friends by killing the Demogorgons, not in one place, not in two places, but in 3 separate places, all at one time. So, volume 2 opens up with our group divided. Some are in Vecna's mindscape, Camazotz. Others are in the Upside Down or in the real world. And so we're just going to hit episodes 5, 6, and 7. Quick recap as we jump in, and then we'll get into the details of each episode. So episode 5 is called Shock Jock. Will Byers uses his innate hive mind connection, powered by a dormant upside down particle, to access Vecna's abilities without preparation. So the team electrifies a dead Demogorgon to amplify the signal, allowing Will to invade Vecna's mind, stall him, and help Max and Holly escape the threats for the moment. Callie, who we found at the end of volume 1 in season 5, tells Eleven and Hopper about the failed military experiments infusing pregnant women with blood to replicate powers, tying that back into the looming government threat that Dr. K presents. And that was episode 5. Now for episode 6, that's called Escape to Camazotz. This episode reveals that the Upside Down is a scientific wormhole bridge to the abyss. And in the last episode, in the previous episode, when we recap volume 1, we talked about this other place. This is where Henry 1 was sent by 11. And in the play, it's called Dimension X. They are calling it the Abyss in the finale. Okay, so the bridge, the Upside Down, is the wormhole bridge between the Abyss or Dimension X and which is a chaotic monster-filled realm. Get it together, Joshua. And it was created by exotic matter when 11 first contacted it. And Dustin deciphers all of this from Dr. Brenner's journals, which he finds in the Hawkins lab in the Upside Down. All right. Max and Holly, meanwhile, navigate Vecna's memories, witnessing young Henry's traumatic cave incident, which is linked to the stage play, The First Shadow, where he kills a scientist after gaining powers. That same scientist has a mysterious briefcase. We don't find out about that just yet. Max empowers Holly with her D&D figurine to find courage, but Max finally escapes the mindscape alone, awakening from her coma and reuniting with Lucas. The Demo Dogs attack allies in the real world, and of course, the emotional bonds prove key in this episode. Big emotional episode. And then that leads us right into episode 7, which is called The Bridge. Holly briefly escapes the abyss, attached to the pain tree with vines feeding mind flare particles, but Vecna recaptures her, unfortunately. Dr. K confesses her plans to weaponize these creatures against the Soviets using Eleven's unique blood. All right, and character moments. We're going to see some huge reveals, which we're going to talk about in a moment. We're going to see Vecna potentially achieving his goal with those kids. And then we see the group finally coming back together for Operation Beanstalk.
Yeah, man. Oh, Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 2, with wormhole science, psychic espionage, relationship autopsies, and the cliffhanger that punched the fandom in the throat. Stranger Things just explained the entire mythology and then emotionally destroyed us for sport. Volume 2 is a calm before the storm chapter where everyone confesses their feelings, breakups, wakes up from comas, and maybe even agrees to die together in another dimension. All right, man. So I got a question for you, JP, right off the break, man.
Okay.
All right, here we go. If Stranger Things ends with one character trapped in the Upside Down forever, who do you think the show is emotionally preparing us to lose? Who do you think they're preparing us to lose, man?
Hopper, most likely.
Hopper.
I
feel like he's been waiting to die.
True. He's willing to put it all on the line to save 11, and we know his situation, how he lost his daughter. I don't think that losing 11, I don't think he would survive it. Yeah. So I absolutely think if someone were to be left in the Upside Down, and actually they probably might have to be left in the Abyss or Dimension X, because we've confirmed now that the Upside Down is just a bridge between the two. Yeah. So if the plan ends up succeeding in the finale, there won't be an Upside Down. There'll just be Dimension X and the real world. So we don't know if that's gonna happen.
Yeah, man, it's tough, bro. All right, man, let's get into these episodes. Episode 5, Shock Jock. The science drop. Dustin deciphers Dr. Brenner's journal and drops the biggest lore reveal of the series. The Upside Down is its own dimension. It's a wormhole. It's not its own dimension. It's a wormhole bridge between Hawkins and the Abyss, Dimension X, the true source of Henry Creel's power. So this is kind of like our thing. Like, we had this whole discussion about what happened when 11 pushed Henry through the gate the initial time. Like, and we was trying to figure out if it is the Upside Down, if 11 created the Upside Down, did Henry create the Upside Down? Did he create the Mind Flayer? All these theories. And episode 5 kind of lets us know kind of like what happened. Where Henry first initially went through the gate wasn't the Upside Down. It was actually Dimension X, where he kind of formed the Mind Flayer to the spider type of thing and all of this stuff where the Demogorgons initially were. And I think that was very important for them to kind of like let us know right off the break, like, okay, whatever y'all thought was going on, that's not what's going on, right? You think you know, but you had no idea. And I think that's very clever, man.
And I'm so happy that they brought this up because, you know, we are just commenting, and if we're regular people, I think that there are plenty of people who were trying to get this clear. Yeah. Now, I think that where we are clear is that Camelot's or Vecna's mind is its own thing.
Yeah.
So, because if you remember, when they escape out of Vecna's mind, Max escapes out of Vecna's mind back into her body. Her body is actually in the real world. But when Holly escapes Vecna's mind and comes back to her body, she's in Dimension X.
Yeah, an abyss.
And
Crazy.
so now I think it helps us a whole lot because seeing it visually, it kind of clarifies all of this. Because when we were seeing it a whole lot in the first part of Volume 1, it was confusing when we were going through all these different areas. I'm like, now where are we? Are we in the Upside Down? Are we? But it's clear now. I'm clear now.
Yeah. All right, man. Planned Franken-science. The group rigs a radio tower. The group rigs a radio tower and uses a resurrected Demogorgon corpse to help Will connect to the hive mind, essentially turning him into a psychic antenna to locate Max and Holly inside Vecna's mental prison. The Blood Truth. Kylie reveals the most disturbing retcon yet. Brenner infused pregnant women with Henry's blood. 11, Kylie, and other numbers aren't miracles. They actually copies of Vecna or Henry, which was very huge, man. So because we kind of found out how they got their powers and all of this stuff, it kind of reminded me of Gen V or like the boys. You know what I'm saying? How they kind of use their power, like the V shot to impregnate the people and then give the kids powers and all that stuff. That's essentially what happened here. And we was kind of like, didn't really know that. So that was kind of good that they actually pointed that out because we was like, what makes them special? You know, now we know.
Exactly. And it debunks kind of what, and you call it a retcon. I think it is a retcon to some degree because originally when the mom talked about the experiments, she talked about them taking LSD and all this, but really they were being given Henry's blood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's thinking they're getting some psychedelic LSD, clinical trial. No, they were giving them Henry's blood.
Yeah, man. Crazy.
Yeah.
Right. Cliffhanger chaos. Nancy shoots an extra dimensional sphere in the Upside Down, triggering a catastrophic energy discharge that ripples across the dimension like it rang a dinner bell for the apocalypse. Man. So the whole time, Dustin has this theory that Vecna has an energy field.
Like a shield.
Like a shield, energy shield. And he's kind of using this shield to kind of like jack himself up, make him more powerful, all of this stuff. So they want to destroy the shield. And Dustin finds out that the theory that he had wasn't even right. He was way off base, and they ended up destroying what they call exotic matter, and it kind of like cascaded from there, bro. It was crazy.
Now let me tell you something I have to say about this. I was totally thrown off in the very beginning of episode 5 because I was under the impression, and maybe I misunderstood, that Hawkins' lab was in the center, like behind the wall. Mm-hmm. So when the first thing we see is them going to Hawkins' lab from the church, I'm like, no, wait a minute. I could have sworn that the circle in the previous, they talked about the circle being around Hawkins' lab. Mm-hmm. So it is, I guess it's one of those things where we're learning things as the characters learn, because they were wrong. That's what it turns out to be. They were wrong. They were thinking it was one thing. It wasn't that at all. And so it threw me off because I was expecting, like, how do you get to Hawkins' lab? Hawkins' lab was in the middle of this circle that he had identified. Right. That the wall was. So now I'm with it. What I will say is shooting the giant thing in the sky, that was dumb.
Yeah, it was.
It was dumb because I'm like,
we don't even know what it is.
You don't know what it is. It's just an orb. You can't even see it really at this point. It just looks like shadows and things moving in the sky. What is a shotgun supposed to do?
Yeah.
I was looking at Nancy going, you're dumb.
Right.
This is dumb.
And okay, so Dustin has this theory that the flesh wall like circles Hawkins, basically, like you said, the lab. But my thing is, you've been to Hawkins your whole life. If Hopper's telling you here in one area of Hawkins and you think you're in another, how did your math end up thinking that it's a circle? You know what I'm saying? Like it's surrounding. Like I didn't get that part. Like where did the math come from then?
Honestly, the only explanation I can make is that I feel like they're getting information in bits and pieces and they think they have it. And then as the audience, we're like, oh, they have it. And so in our minds, we're like, okay, that's what it is. But that isn't what it is, because when he actually gets into Dr. Brenner's office and starts looking at what he had put down and starts comparing it to the notes, he realizes, oh no, I'm completely wrong about this. So I guess one part of this is we have been accustomed to really trust Dustin's intelligence.
Yeah.
And when Dustin says something is a certain way, when it comes to smarts and math, and we just expect he's right. So who would have questioned him? I know I didn't. I was thrown off as well. So I think that's good, because that lets us know, he's not perfect either. So, he didn't get it right.
Yeah. They finally answered the mystery and somehow it made everything worse.
Yeah.
All right. Episode 6, Escape from Kamazat's, my favorite episode. Let me just say, when the initial episode list of, Stranger Things came out, and like when we watched the first volume and I seen like 5, 6, and 7, I had a feeling episode 6 was going to be my favorite episode. So I don't know why, but I felt like it was. And, it was. It was probably my favorite episode of the second volume, man.
And you can't identify why it's your favorite?
Now I know, but before I had that initial feeling, I was like, man, this episode right here is going to be the best one.
Okay, so what is it? Tell me.
I think it's the relationship between Max and Holly, and the fact that we waited for Max to get out, and she didn't get out in a way that it was kind of like cliche. You know what I'm saying? Like Holly made it good. And just the whole dynamic, it added more intrigue with Henry, him getting shot in the hand. I was like, oh, so that's why his left hand is so big, because it's injured. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like how when they pulled Vecna's like whatever in the first volume, like when he came back, he was like all like reinforced. You know what I'm saying? So his left hand is kind of like reinforced because of the gunshot wound he had when he was a kid. So it was like a lot of different elements. The way they found the secret passage was cold, like with the magnifying glass, the telescope or whatever. Like all of that was just really good for me. Mama Wheeler, Karen Wheeler, the way she came hard, bro.
Like, she was really good. Yeah, she was really
it was
good.
A lot of the episode that made me like, oh yeah, it kind of justified my initial feeling of it, man. But yeah, it was dope. All right, inside Henry's mind, Max and Holly explore Vecna's memories and uncover his original sin as a child. Henry brutally kills a man who shot him in the hand. The monster origin becomes uncomfortable, and we are looking towards Max. Max realizes she doesn't need music to escape Vecna's mind anymore. Her true anchor isn't Kate Bush, it's Lucas. Emotional growth replaces supernatural crutches, which was beautiful, man. Like this whole time they thinking it was Kate Bush, so he kept playing the song over and over again. And it's funny, I'm jumping ahead. When she finally got out, she asked him, was he tired of it? He was just like shaking his head, like he was real tired of the song, but he did it for her, man. I just thought the whole dynamic was beautiful. I love Caleb, how he's acting with Lucas, man. I think he's phenomenal. So yeah, it was dope, man.
Yeah, I love Lucas's arc throughout the entire show, but how he's come on strong in season 5, I really love it, because he took a lot of hits.
Yeah, he did.
Season 4 knocked him down a peg for a lot of people, and I'm gonna have to forgive him for the Afro wig, because his acting is good. He's really represented. He's been a much better friend. So I love his art, and I would say that the relationships are so crucial And I think episode 6 is one of those where we're starting to see focus on these relationships. It's been a part of the show the entire time, but I think we saw the beginning, we saw the height of these relationships where everyone was in a really great place, but we've been in a bad place for a while. And that's over several of the relationships on the show. So to be able to see, some of these things coming to a head in a positive way, whether we actually like the final outcome or not, I feel like bringing them together is really important because they don't need any fractures for this finale. They're going to need every ounce of strength they can muster. To fight Vecna. They can't be divided on this one.
Yeah, man, for sure. So now we go into my least favorite part of the episode, the unproposal. Trapped in a collapsing room at the Hawkins lab, Jonathan admits he never applied to college with Nancy, amongst other things. He reveals an engagement ring, then offers an unproposal. They choose honesty and friendship over forcing a future that no longer fits. Right? Let me tell you why I don't like this part, right?
Okay.
Because the exotic matter. Everything's melting around them, and all of a sudden it's not. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is like, what's the sense behind it? What's the science behind it? Did it just because if you remember, the exotic matter was still going up above Steve and Dustin. So what happened to make the matter solidify? Like they didn't explain it. I was looking for it, like Dustin to explain it, but he never did, and it was just kind of weird and awkward. It kind of felt like a plot device to save Jonathan and Nancy from a pending doom. You know, it was never really like explained. You know why? Because it was just, I don't know. It was just kind of weird that it at the moment where he threw the ring, it was like a slick floor or whatever. It was just, I didn't like that part. I'm like, if you want to kill him, man. Like, don't save him, or why even put them in that position just so they could break up? Like, that was my thing. Like, they could have did something else with that. Am I making sense?
You're making perfect sense. I feel like they set this up for us with the lead into the area where they were. When they first found the melted doorknob and the melting floor when they first were going up, you notice they saw people that had died because they like melted into the floor and then it solidified around them. Like you see areas where it looks like it melted, but then it didn't melt for long. It just kind of melted a little bit and then refroze. So that's where my mind went when I saw this, because you would think that if it was, because I was thinking, well, is it being melted by heat? It can't be being melted by heat because nothing's burnt. So it's something else. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the explanation that they're coming up with, that the exotic matter is impacting, matter around it, causing it to kind of destabilize, but only to a certain extent. And then after that effect passes, it re-solidifies wherever it is. That's why you got a guy halfway in the floor and one guy is halfway in the wall. And that's the only explanation I could come up for it. It does feel like a plot device, in this scenario, for it to be like a fully solid floor to the point where when it hits the floor, it makes a little ching. Yeah. I was like, what now? But I understand how they got there, because it felt like they were leading us to this half melted, not because of heat, but because of something else, which means if it's not heat, it could re-solidify.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I explained it in my mind.
Okay. I'll accept it. Accept it.
Don't let me be their public defender.
No, it makes sense because they did kind of like leave little breadcrumbs in there. Like you said, the guy halfway melted through the floor and things like that. So it's kind of like proves that it's unstable. Like the exotic matter is unstable. But in my mind, because it's going off above them like that and all of this stuff is going on, I don't feel like there's any room for it to solidify because of that energy being so powerful and it's right there. But
Exactly.
you know, plot device, we just gotta suspend disbelief on that.
Exactly. That's part of it. It's part of it. Okay, here's another great example where Dustin and Steve are, they aren't experiencing the effects. Right. They're several floors below them. But I think what's really being melted is everything that was above them, because they started on the roof. And so they dropped a level lower. But what's pouring down on top of them is stuff that's melting off the roof. Once it gets down to where they are and it fills up in the room, it's far enough away from the effects that it starts to re-solidify.
Yeah.
So I think that's the idea.
So why are we talking about this exotic matter, right?
Right? It becomes important.
Yeah, it's important, man, because it also gives Dustin and Steve an opportunity to get back on the same page. Because if you remember, they've been kind of like at each other's head since season 5. So they had a little fight inside the lab where 11 first encountered Henry pushing through the gate, all of this stuff, and then Steve is kind of like looking for Nancy, right? Looking for Jonathan. He grabs his ladder, puts it on his hole in the stairwell, and Dustin's like, if you do that, you're gonna die. You're always trying to kill yourself. And it gives him that opportunity to be kind of like human with each other and stop being so dickheadish, basically, towards each other, man, and kind of like button heads and really give Dustin that cathartic experience to tell Steve kind of like how much he means to him. And I thought that was a good point, but Steve was definitely about to die, man. He's definitely was. And I was like, oh, you gotta be careful, man. Dustin,
yeah. Now I was gonna say that these guys, as many as guys often do, don't understand how to express how they feel about something.
Yeah.
And I think Dustin's anger was just misdirected grief. I think that's really the best explanation. He's grieving the loss of his friend Eddie, and he's taking it out on Steve, but it's not because he's angry at Steve, but it's because he doesn't want Steve to end up in that same position. So It makes a lot of sense. And the fact that they're grown people in real life, but they're playing kids, so it's understandable. And I think because, we hit on this previously, these guys were like father figures to him. So I think it's more important. It's important to him in a different way. Let me not say more important, but it's important to him in a very different way than a lot of the other relationships.
Yeah, man. It's great writing. It is.
Oh yeah. I think if you're juxtaposing those two relationships and how they play out in that scene, Dustin and Steve is much better, well conceived and written and executed.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Suburban warfare. Karen Wheeler becomes unexpectedly lethal, saving Lucas and Max by detonating an oxygen tank in a laundry dryer during a demo dog attack. That scene was fire, man. Because I'm like, how they gonna get out of this? You know what I'm saying? And the Duffer Brothers,
exactly.
they do really good with kind of like redirecting, because they're gonna get saved. Yeah. And it's like, how they gonna get out of this? Because like they right there or whatever, and the demo dogs are right there. How they gonna get out of this? And Karen Wheeler comes, and I felt like they did that because it gave her a chance to be a hero and give her like just a taste of what was going on, kind of like let her know like her kids are involved, they know what's going on, but they got it under control. Because her mom, she was ready to jump up and like, I'm going with y'all. And Mike is kind of like, nah, Mom, we got this. Like, we done saved Will. We got more experience than anybody with this. Like, we know what's going on. We're going to save the day. You did your job. Now it's time to go rest. Get back to health. And we're going to get Holly back for you. I thought that was a great scene. It was so many great scenes in this episode. That's why it's my favorite. It's my favorite because of that. Yeah.
And let me tell you, I am so happy that more people are now in the know about what's going on.
Yeah.
They could have used this science teacher a long time ago.
For sure.
instead of keeping him in the dark. We've got the girlfriend on the other side, although she's like a tangential character.
Yeah.
But we're starting to bring more people in. These people should have known a long time ago. I understand these are plot devices, but to me, it just makes sense. You cannot keep having this crazy stuff happen, and then people are just in the dark, wholly ignorant of it. So I'm loving that. And I think that's a big part of where we're going, with this episode, revealing more to more people because they're going to need more help.
Yeah, for sure, man. Will's wake-up call. Will snaps out of his possession only to realize Vecna used him as a psychic backdoor to locate Max's real body. And that's how they ended up attacking her with the demo dogs and all of that stuff. This episode says no more lies, no more denial, no more plot armor. And it did just that. Episode 7. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say there was a hilarious scene in here when Robin's girlfriend thought she was a druggie. Yeah. She was like, "You're on drugs." Yeah. That whole scene was hilarious because she was like, "Do you hear yourself? You must be crazy."
Yeah.
And then immediately it's proven to her that this is real. So that back to back was hilarious because it's like, when they were cowering, waiting to be eaten by the demo dogs. I'm so sorry that I thought you were a druggie.
Yeah. You know what? It's always rewarding to see the guards. You know what I'm saying? They being all assholish, and she like, "I'm not a druggie. It's something going on. If we don't get out of here, we're gonna die." And they keep moving, junkie. All of this asinine stuff, you're being real ridiculous for no reason, and then you end up dying. I love writing like that because it's always the people that don't listen that gets it the worst, man. And it's just good writing, bro. It's satisfying.
Yeah, and plus we know that they are agents of the government. Here's the crazy thing is, you got to remember, they didn't call the regular police because the military is in control of Hawkins.
Yeah.
They call the police that are part of the occupying force in Hawkins. They know. Yeah. They've been attacked by these creatures. So them calling her a junkie and all of this is like, y'all just trying to make her feel bad because she's involved with this somehow. Right. So it's they get their comeuppance immediately. They get karma. They get their they reaping almost immediately. Well deserved.
Chef's kiss. All right. Episode 7, The Bridge. Oh man, this episode here, man. This is where everybody's coming down on it, bro. Every criticism I've seen is coming for episode 7, The Bridge. Right? Will Byers comes out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Officially comes out to his family and friends, rejecting the shame-filled future Vecna showed him. Fear loses his grip, and Will finally owns who he is on his terms. Okay, let's just pause here, right?
Okay.
So a lot of people feel like his coming out wasn't needed, right? But I think people are looking at it from the audience standpoint. I don't think they're looking at it from the people in the story, even though most people probably knew that he had this type of inclination, or however you want to put it.
His brother definitely did.
Yeah, his brother knew, but Will had to say it himself. He had to come out of his fear of being outcasted, shunned, or whatever, to be able to stand for himself and defeat Vecna, and not have Vecna kind of use it against him. On that note, I understand why he had to say that. Now, could he have did it earlier on? Possibly, but he became captured by Vecna, and then Vecna used all of this fear and all this stuff, call him weak and all of this stuff, to kind of make him feel like he was worthless. So Will had to gain his power back some type of way. Because if you remember, once 11 saved him, he was in shambles. He thought he had something going for himself. He thought he was powerful enough to stop Vecna or whatever, and it turns out that he didn't. He didn't have that power that he thought he did. So,
exactly.
as a character, he had to get his power back. Now, for us, the audience, we knew since beginning, you know, when we knew that he had a feeling for Mike and all of this stuff, but he had to do that for himself in the story, not for the audience, not even for his friends and his family, but for him to feel powerful again. So in that note, I do understand why they did that, and I think it was I don't think it was drawn out at all. I think it was a very real experience. I don't know of anybody that had to come out like that, but I would imagine it'll be a lot like that. Like, they're not sure about how people gonna react and all of this stuff, and they probably have some shame or some fear or apprehension about it, and they don't know how they're gonna actually tell people who they are and all this stuff. And I think Noah Schnapp did a great job of kind of like portraying that on film, on camera, and I think everybody around him did a good job of kind of like supporting him, and that even though they already knew what it was, they kind of accepted him for who he is and made him feel okay with it. So I think that was great writing as well. But what do you think about that? Because that was a very big part of why people didn't like this episode. They felt like that wasn't needed because they already knew as an audience what it was. But it wasn't for the audience. It was for the character.
So I purposefully avoided a lot of the additional commentary before, you know, our podcast. Here's my perspective on it. I feel like it was necessary, and here's why. It's not a standalone. The same thing that he's going through is the same, you know, revelation of the truth and what's been hidden between Jonathan and Nancy. It's the same revelation of truth of what's going on, you know, between other characters like Dustin and Steve. So all of these characters have these different hidden secrets that they aren't, you know, they aren't letting their friends know. These people that they have been through hell with, that they have fought off monsters with, whose lives they've saved, who saved their own lives. So in order for Will to achieve what he has to achieve, he has to have this moment, because we can see in every other area how these secrets, these lies, these areas of insecurity, it becomes like a weight, like an anchor to the character. Yeah. And especially because Vecna uses most of his warfare is mental. So they have to be honest about who they are and what they're going through. And we've been talking about this. These characters that have developed these relationships, we just said it a minute ago, a lot of their relationships have soured, and there's a lot of dishonesty. You know, from the beginning, Elle would say, "Friends don't lie." Y'all been lying for a long time. So this is like the catharsis. This is the come to Jesus moment. We got to tell the truth about who we are, how we feel, and stop lying, so that we can not have that holding us back when we're going to need every ounce of our physical strength and our mental strength to fight the fight that we have coming. So I feel like it was important for the characters, and I agree with your assessment. Although the family members and friends likely knew, it was important for Will to say it for himself and take that power back. And I think that, you know, outside pressures and things that are going on in the world right now kind of color how people feel about this stuff. So a lot of times, that's why it's good to block out the noise, because sometimes people just want to dogpile on something that they don't like. I don't necessarily feel like there was any agenda here being pushed. If that's what some of the commentary is saying, like I said, I hadn't listened to any of it. But if that's where it's coming from, I don't feel like this. I don't feel like it was crammed into the story where it didn't belong. We've known it, but I think it fits for where this story is going.
For sure. Yeah. All right. The sacrifice plan. Eleven and Kali privately agree to a devastating possibility, staying behind in the Upside Down to destroy it from the inside, even if it means never coming home. Kali, man, Kali. I love Kali's character, man, but she's always disrupting something, man. Even in 11, I think she's good for 11 finding her strength, but I also think she's been bruised by society so much that her initial response isn't always the best response. And Hopper gets that from her. Like, he doesn't trust her at all. I don't trust her at all.
I don't either.
I think she has another type of underlying thing going on.
Ulterior motive.
Yeah, man. And I don't like where they taking her character, but I think it's essential for 11's growth. Whether 11 dies or not in this final episode, I think she's very essential to getting 11 to where she needs to be to defeat Vecna. Even though I don't like her character. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a little afraid, though. Kali going on the mission, because I feel like she has ulterior motives, and I don't trust her. I don't know. I feel like she's going to sabotage Elle.
I think so. She's going to try. I think she's going to try. I don't think she will. I think Hopper is so protective of 11. He's going to make sure that Kali doesn't mess with whatever 11's got going on. Even though she's in the mind or whatever, I think Hopper got 11's back. Regardless, I think that's going to be the thing. He may sacrifice himself for her, he may do something to protect her, but I don't think whatever Kali is planning, I don't think it's going to work. That's my thing. I don't know.
I agree. I don't think it will work, but I don't trust her as far as I can see her or throw her. I feel like she's got something in her back pocket that's going to be a surprise to Elle, and she is Elle's blind spot.
Yeah.
Because she knows that she's her sister. She knows that she's gone through the same hell that she has gone through dealing with Dr. Brenner and being in the lab and everything that they did to them. So she has a soft spot for Kali. Add to the fact that the government has murdered all of Kali's friends, according to her.
Yeah.
But I let me tell you, the thing that really made me distrust her the most is when she started putting images in Elle's mind.
Yeah.
When they were at the church, I was like, "Oh no,
yeah,
why?" You could explain what's going on without like putting an image into her mind, which makes me think that you're trying to control her somehow.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. And let me tell you something. Because all of the secrets have not been revealed yet, I don't know. Kali could be a double, triple agent in my mind. I don't know.
You think so? I mean, he does have Henry's blood, so it could be a way for him to kind of manipulate Kali for his own use. You know what I'm saying? He's been doing it throughout the series, so it's very possible that she could be like some agent or something.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm skeptical on her. I don't trust her.
So this plan that Steve has to kind of like infiltrate the abyss.
Okay.
He wants to use, because the whole thing is Vecna wants to merge worlds. He wants to merge the abyss with Hawkins and merge it and make it into the Upside Down. That's what I'm thinking. How the Upside Down is, he wants the Hawkins, the real world, to be like that. So he could be all powerful and kind of control everything. And the way that Steve builds this plan to allow Vecna's plan to kind of like manifest and start to merge, and they use this radio, the squawk. They use the squawk to kind of like as an entry point to get into the abyss and kind of like infiltrate Vecna. I think was very clever. I can't wait to see how it goes in this final episode. It's 2 hours and 8 minutes long. It's basically a movie.
It's a movie.
It's a movie. And so I'm very excited to see that and kind of like how that unfolds. I
don't think it's going to go the way they intend for it to go.
It never does.
I don't think so. Because if you remember, Holly escaped like under a rock that was just big enough for her to fit through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting. I guess he's going by the mantra that we've seen in many movies where they'll say, "Don't shoot until you see the whites of their eyes." Like, let them get close enough so that they think they got you, and then you spring your attack. So I'm gonna give him some credit for his plan. I think that there's some surprises waiting on him.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. And we move on to the final cliffhanger. Vecna gathers the 12 kidnapped children around the table in the Creel house mindscape. As he says it's time, their eyes roll white, their necks snap, using their collective power to initiate the merging of Dimension X and Hawkins. This wasn't a cliffhanger, it was a threat. Oh, man. See, what I like and I don't like about this is Holly almost gets away, right? She almost gets away, right? And Vecna catches her, brings her back. And my boy, Delightful Derek, he doesn't stand up.
Derek
doesn't stand up for Holly, man. I know he's scared, man, but it's weird because he has this whole persona like he's not scared. He, suck my fat one, all of this stuff. He's kind of rebellious. And then when it's time to actually rebel, he doesn't do it. You know what I'm saying?
You know that most bullies are cowards.
Yeah, he had his opportunity to back Holly up, man, and all these people, the little kids, like, well, we're best friends with Holly and all of this stuff, and they turn on her. Like, it was just, how's she your best friend and you taking a word over basically a stranger? You don't see no other people around, no family members, no nothing, and you just take this guy's word for it, like, out of nowhere. It was just like, these kids so gullible. But one thing, it kind of reinforces what Vecna was saying to Will. These kids are weak-minded, you know what I'm saying? And they're going to be used for my purpose to build a new world. And I was like, damn.
You took the words out of my mouth. That's exactly what I was going to say. I feel like he was manipulating their minds. Absolutely. Because they took a dark turn quick. Yeah. I mean, pushing her down the stairs and cussing her out and choking her. And I was like, this is definitely Vecna. Vecna already has a mental influence over them.
Yeah, man. So we explained the upside down. The upside down is not magic. It's wormhole science. The abyss, Dimension X, is the true source. Upside down as corrupt echo is a corrupt echo of Hawkins. Destroying it might require somebody to stay behind.
Now, I said Hopper. Did you agree that it potentially would be Hopper?
I think it's going to be Hopper. It's going to be Hopper or 11. I think they setting it up either to be Hopper or 11. So I don't know.
Dang. I don't know if I'm ready for potentially 11 dying.
Yeah.
In the show, I feel like, man, she's our little Supergirl. So that will be tough.
It will be tough.
No one died in Volume 2. Well, there are plenty of military soldiers died, but none of the main characters that are important, that aren't evil puppets, of the government. None of the main characters died. That probably means we're going to lose somebody in this finale. And it may be more than one.
Yeah.
I feel like 11 is too obvious.
Okay.
I feel like it's going to be someone we're not expecting.
Yeah. What if it's Will?
I was just about to say, it could be Will. And the reason I say it is because they have been so protective of Will Byers. Yeah. And when you really think about it, as much as this story is about 11, this story is actually, I would say, equally as much about Will.
Yeah.
The very first episode is the disappearance of Will Byers.
Mm, oh,
So
if you're watching this, let us know who do y'all think is going to die. Somebody's going to die, right?
definitely.
Who do you think is going to die in the final season or the final episode? Stranger Things. Oh, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. All right, Vecna's true endgame. 12 children as perfect vessels. He's power siphoning all of these kids to make himself more powerful so he can merge Hawkins and Dimension X to create his idea of fixing the world. Less demons, more God, more broken God complex. Character turning points. Will chooses truth over fear. Max reclaiming her agency without supernatural aids. Nancy and Jonathan choosing honesty over comfort. 11 quietly accepting martyrdom as an option. Kylie reframing herself as a survivor and might be a threat.
Yeah.
All right. We got a Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. The MVP of this volume 2 is, who do you think? Who do you think?
I don't know. Ooh,
Max,
let me think.
Okay. Oh,
MVP, most valuable player for this.
MVP.
Well, let me say who I don't think it is.
Okay.
I don't feel like Elle had as much of a role. I felt like other characters stepped up here, and I'm just, it could be Dustin, but it could also be Will.
Okay.
One of those two. I'm stuck. Let me say this. Will. It's got to be Will.
Well,
Because his epic accessing of his powers, saving his friends in 3 different places. I'm gonna give it to Will.
you know what? We're gonna go with Will. We're gonna go with Will. I had somebody else written down, but now that you say that, I like Will for the MVP.
I want to hear what your thoughts on the other. What was the other one?
My MVP was Max. She survived in Vecna's mind for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? And didn't die. That's some powerful stuff.
You know what? I mean, that is a very good argument because I don't think they could have achieved what they achieved without what she found out just by surviving.
Yeah. All right, man. One more. Well, we got a few more. Best performance. Out of whole volume.
Out of volume 2. Ooh. Well, you go first this time, and I'm gonna get mine together.
Noah Snap. Will.
Okay.
Most energetic, most emotional. He had a lot of stuff to overcome, and they said he took 12 hours to prepare for that whole dialogue scene. Even though it was really short, it was short considering, but it took him 12 hours to kind of like prepare himself for that. So Will, Noah Snap, MVP. I mean, most powerful performance.
I agree. I think that scene was very, very powerful. Yeah. I would agree with you on that.
Most punchable. Most punchable person. The personal people you wanted to punch.
Ooh. I'm going to go with Jonathan. Okay. His character has just been driving me nuts. He hasn't come in the clutch like he used to. And I think his whole episode of being a pothead and, just being high all the time, he kind of lost himself.
Yeah.
So I feel like probably him.
Yeah. But I don't even feel like he had a really good reason to like lose himself. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly why it makes no sense.
He got the girl he wanted, basically. His brother came back. Like it was all of this stuff that kind of like rewarded him, and he still kind of like let's let himself go. So I'm with you on that. But my pick is the 10 kids in the house, bro. Because I'm like, oh, it's like y'all just taking this man's word as gold, bro. And I'm looking like he didn't have people walking around like in their mind, like just to kind of like fill up the space to make them feel at home. It was nobody there. It was just these kids, and they just took it. And then they turned on Holly. They beat her up, push her down the steps, all of this stuff. They deserve to be punched, man. I'll give Derek some grace because Vecna scared the boo-boo out of him. You know what I'm saying? With the people on the floor with their eyes missing, that would scare anybody. You know what I'm saying? So,
those are his family members.
Family members. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I understand. I didn't like it, but I understood. Right? All right, most unexpected badass. The most unexpected badass.
I'm gonna give it to Holly. Yeah. I think that Holly really found some bravado. She could have just cowered. She didn't have to, take any steps to help anybody because she was in her dream, like she was living in a dollhouse. So I think that the steps that she took were very helpful as far as, moving the story and helping us to understand what was going on with both Max and in the Creel family mindscape.
Yep. Holly and Karen Willard. She saved them kids, man.
She did.
She did. It was done. When
they did the flashback back to her fight with the Demogorgon, she even though we know that Will was making the Demogorgon not fight as hard because he was partially controlling it, not even knowing at that time, for her to stand up, especially considering her husband did nothing the whole show.
So useless,
like a useless rock. I mean, he does nothing, man. That guy.
First outside playing golf. Come on, he was useless, bro. Through the whole.
So it was great to see her step up. And then do it again because she understood at that point how dangerous it was. See, that's why more people needed to know in the first place.
Yeah, for sure. Oh man! All right, that was it. What would you give this volume as a whole? What would you give this volume as a whole?
I'm going to say, I think I was probably at an 8. I'm going to say this one is a 7 for me. There's a little less action, more emotional beats, which I'm not against, but I think. Let me say this. This is why I'm saying 7 because I found this. I had this feeling several times watching Volume 2. They were stopping in the middle of super dangerous situations to have an emotional moment. And it was bugging the crap out of me.
For sure.
Because there's Demogorgons around the corner and y'all are taking a moment in the midst of your life being in danger to have this revealing emotional. That was nonsensical. I have to dock them a point for that because it happened more than once. And I was like, they keep doing this. There's nothing wrong with the emotional beat being there, but please don't interrupt an action sequence to put this in here. Let's take a moment to figure out that we should be breaking up while we're about to die.
Yeah, man. All right.
So that's why I say 7.
Yeah, I'm a 7 too. The thing is, I'm gonna read these comments. We got some comments. Okay. I'm gonna read them. But I want to say I'm at 7 too. Okay. The funniest, the running thread online was this whole scene with Holly and Max in the Upside Down, about to leave, right? And they just sitting there having the whole conversation. I feel like
I was going, what are you doing? Oh my God.
PTSD by now. Like, Max should have had PTSD. PTSD, like, I got to get out of here. You know what I'm saying? But
that
they had
drove me nuts.
The whole time they was in a cave, she should have said that. Like, when we leave, like, you're gonna, like, it's not just me. You have to figure out a way for you to get out. You know, not at the brink of y'all leaving. Like, all of that should have been ironed out before y'all got there. Like, you should already know it's time to go, bro. But they had a whole little heart-to-heart moment, like you said, and I was just like, yo, get out of there, bro.
But you know what's so crazy? And this is what my mind kept telling me. This is why I doctored a point for what I just said. The last time Max was in that very spot, Vecna caught her when she was about to escape and get back in her body and pulled her in there, and she's been trapped in there for 2 years. You tell me that your exit is there and y'all stop to talk and have a heart-to-heart? Tell that girl to run, and you run.
Man,
my flabbers were gasted.
Yeah,
because I was like, this is y'all. Come on now, come on, don't do that. Other than that, okay, it's still a 7, but that irked me.
Yeah, for sure. So Rajesh, I think this is Rajesh says, "How you guys doing? Pretty good. Pretty good.
Good. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Scotty, T1, Y1, Y. Can you shout me out? There you go, Scott.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Yes, sir.
Of course we can shut you out.
Thanks for watching, man. All right, Extreme 3D 97. I can see Murray and maybe Mr. Clark dying because they so experienced in the upside down. They don't know what's going on. Murray kind of has an idea though, and Murray's kind of resourceful. But Mr. Clark, that's a good one. That's a good theory, man. Because he don't know, he's smart, but he don't really know the upside down. You know,
he's walking around like a baby lamb. Everything is blowing his mind. Another reason why he should have been told 2 seasons ago. But yeah, man, that would suck.
Yeah, that would suck.
But you know what? It would suck, but I don't think it will have the emotional impact of a main character dying.
Yeah.
So it may happen. This is true.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it will, though.
Yeah.
And to me, Murray surviving is the most Murray thing that could happen. So it doesn't make sense. I don't know. I think it's going to be a main character. These two, though, I mean, it's not to discount. I appreciate your comment. I don't know. I can see it happening, but I think they're going to try to give us a dagger to our hearts and get us with some main characters. And I think it might be more than one.
Yeah. Because you got to remember, this is the last episode ever. So, like, they're going to have to hit us where it hurt, and it's something that's going to linger for a long time. Like, damn, I can't believe they killed Will. I can't believe they killed Hopper. I can't believe they killed 11. You know what I'm saying? Got to be like that, you know? That's tough. It's tough, man. All right, so to end this episode off, this podcast episode off, we're going to watch the Stranger Things Season 5 final trailer, man.
Yes.
It's over, man. And they hit us with a trailer right before it started. And we about to watch it, family. So here we go. If I could get on it. What? It's not going. Let's show it again. Here we go.
I need you to fight one last time. Life has been so unfair to you. Your childhood was taken from you. You've been attacked, manipulated by terrible people. but you never let it break you. Fight for the days on the other side of this. Fight for a world beyond Hawkins. Let's end this, kid.
Mother of God.
So one person, I did not see Kali in this trailer. I was looking for her and I did not see her. So do with that what you will. You know what I'm saying? I just saying I didn't see it.
I don't know. Ooh. I think, well, hopefully, if it's proven that she has ulterior motives, I hope that they're able to find them out early on, and we can dispatch with her and move on to the main thing, which is figuring out how this all ends. Here's what I don't want, and let me just say this: I don't want us to end this and not know the answers. I want them to close the loops. I want them to tie all the loose ends. I want us to have closure when this is done. Of all the shows, I think that this show has been given the latitude to close how it wants to close. So there's no reason for us to leave with anything on the table. And so that's what I'm hoping for the finale. It doesn't mean I'm going to agree with every choice, but I don't want us to still have so many questions that it takes away from the enjoyment of how it all ends.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
What about you?
I'm on the same thing. I want some type of closure. For a series like this, we've been invested for almost 7 years, I think. So yeah, I want some type of closure. I mean, it's going to be impossible to answer every question, every turnover, every stone, all of that stuff. It's going to be impossible in 2 hours. But if I could walk away with some clarity and understand the story and have some type of resolution, I could go to sleep happy, you know. But if not, I'm gonna feel like my whole time has been wasted, and that'll piss me off. That'll piss me off. But yeah, man. Thanks for everybody that watched. Thanks for people that commented. Yes, man. Scott, Paxton Newell, Rajesh, and Extreme 3D97. Thank y'all so much for watching. Thank you for commenting. We did have a couple people that popped in. Don't be afraid to comment. Talk to us, man. We got the most comments on a live. This is the most comments that we've had. So, yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. All right, that's it, man. Anything else, JP?
No, man. Excellent. Great episode. I'm excited. Ready for the finale.
Yes, sir. Tomorrow, man. I feel like we should do something. I don't know.
It is tomorrow. It's not.
It is tomorrow.
I was thinking it was on the 1st. It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Tomorrow.
Wow. Coming to a close. All right, that's it, family. Thanks for watching so much, man. Until next time, you have a light that is out of this world. Let it shine and be the richness that this world deserves. Much love, family. Be enriched.
Peace.